there, my name's Paula and I'm a Careers Inc. careers advisor, and I'm here today to talk to you about some of your options after year 11. Today I'm really going to focus on sixth form and college. What are they? How are they different? And what does that mean for you in your decision making? So as a starting point, when you finish school at the end of year 11, you've got to stay in some form of education, employment or training until the age of 18. And that can be either through college, through sixth form, apprenticeships, traineeships, and sometimes there is the option for employment as long as there is a training element in with that. So in the session today, we're really going to focus on college and sixth form. So what's the difference? So sixth form and college. What I'd like you to do now is just spend a little bit of time writing down as many differences as you can think between the two. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to think about that. Your tutor might need to just pause the video. So I'm hoping you came up with a few little differences that already you're starting to think in how sixth form different from college and vice versa. And in this section, we're really going to try to outline the key differences between those two pathways, but there are some confusing facts for us to get through first. So the first thing is that sixth form can be located within a school or a college. Your school might have its own sixth form. There might be other schools locally that have sixth forms, but equally there may be colleges that offer sixth form provision. So it's very different, and in some places you will have the main college that actually offer a sixth form or offer A levels, and in some areas you have completely standalone sixth form colleges, so the only thing you can do there is sixth form type study, but you can't go to that particular college to do a vocational type course. We'll come on to that in a moment. And again, colleges can differ as well. So some colleges are really big and they're the main college that people think of in a town or a city. But there are much smaller, more specialist colleges, and they can be specialist either in terms of area of study. So there are lots of hairdressing or beauty colleges, or there may be specific engineering colleges. So those are some colleges to be aware of. And there are also some very specialist colleges that offer accommodation. And normally for those, you would travel away, quite away from your home school, to go and specialise in a particular area. So just some little differences there in terms of sixth forms and colleges. Okay, so what will I study? This is where it can start to get a little bit confusing, because what you study and how you study, whether it's at sixth form or a college, is very different. So at a sixth form, so remember what I said, a school-based sixth form might be a college-based, it might be a standalone sixth form college. You choose a variety of subjects, normally 3 subjects. Depending on your GCSE grades, they may allow you to study 4. And they will be similar to subjects that you've studied at school. So you will look at a range of subjects: English language, physics, art, sport, geography. But they also might look at introducing you to some new subjects. So you might be able to study things like law, psychology, sociology. And what students tend to do is choose subjects based on either future career ambitions. So if you know what it is you want to go and do in the future, there will be some subjects that would equip you with the skills to move in that direction. Or for lots of students, A-levels are a way of keeping options open. So if they have no idea what they want to do, but the type of study is right for them and they've got the right grades to enable them to, some students choose to do sixth form study to keep those options open. Now, straight away, we see a big difference here. So if you're thinking about college, what will I study? You choose a vocational course, and that means an area of specialism. So when you go to college, you would choose a course to study, and that is what you would study. And it would normally be around an area of interest. So it could be your college course is in construction. Your college course is in business. Your college course is in catering, as examples. But what you wouldn't do is choose a mix of subjects. So when we start to then think about college courses, we really need to think about maybe not perhaps what career you want in the future, because you don't have to study a course that then defines your career for the rest of your life. But what is it you're really going to enjoy doing? What is going to develop those skills? We'll talk about those a little bit more in a bit more detail shortly. Okay, next question. How will I study? Whether you're thinking about sixth form or college, the way that you will study will be very different. So at sixth form, you mainly study A levels. Some sixth forms now are bringing in BTEC style qualifications, but you would still do them in a mix of subjects. They're normally studied across a 2-year period with exams at the end of the second year. Some subjects will have elements of coursework in there, but predominantly A levels and sixth form style study is a lot more like what you're used to in school. So classroom based settings and assessed throughout the year, maybe with mini assessments, but the focus is on the end of that 2-year programme. That's when you sit your exams. But in terms of environment, it's very similar to what you're used to at school. So you'd follow a similar timetable. So if you're doing physics, geography and maths, you would have a mixture of those subjects on your timetable throughout the week. And this is where the difference comes with college. So if you're more practical, more hands-on, you learn by doing, at college, the type of courses, the vocational courses, are normally made up of more continual assessment. There will most probably be some element of exams and tests, but a lot of the work that you do will be coursework based, assignments, practical work. Some courses have a huge area of work placement. So if you're doing childcare and education, or if you're doing health and social care, areas of study like that, there will be a lot of work placement as part of your course. So it's really important to understand the difference there between academic, classroom-based study and more practical, hands-on, coursework-based study. This is a question we get asked quite a lot as careers advisors. When do I study? Is it full time? Do I go all the time? And really key for you to consider. So let's start with sixth form. At sixth form, you have 5 hours of lessons for each of your subjects. So if you're taking 3 subjects, you have 15 hours worth of lessons. But there will be other lessons on your timetable to support you. So there will be guidance lessons, there will be kind of tutor or mentoring sessions probably. But those other periods will be your independent study time. So that's how you then choose to spend that time. Some sixth forms will expect you to stay in the building and they will be quiet study and that will be monitored. Other sixth forms might have a more flexible approach to that, and if it's a free period, then you can choose to use that how you wish, maybe leave the building. So if that's important to you when you're doing your research, you really need to understand each sixth form's approach to how they structure your timetable. One thing that is the same regardless of where you study for sixth form is that you need to work for at least the same number of hours outside of the classroom as you are in the classroom. A-level study, sixth form based study is hard. The jump from GCSE to A-level study in sixth form is vast. And what you need to be able to do is put in the same amount of independent study. So if you've got 5 hours of English, you need to be doing 5 hours of English outside of the classroom. There is a lot of work to do, a lot of content, and that's why you really need to reflect on how dedicated you are, how committed you are, but equally how open you are to the opportunities that A-levels and sixth form study can present, but you need to go into it understanding the expectations. At college, it is slightly different. So if you're doing a full-time course at college, you might be required to be physically in college for 3 days a week. And the days can be spread across the week. Your start-finish times can be very different from school. So you might start late, work kind of, you might have lectures and things until 5 o'clock. If you need to resit your English or maths, That would mean that you would be in college more than the 3 days. And there would also be an expectation from college that in addition to those 3 days, you're going to work on that coursework and work towards those assignments and maybe do additional work placements in addition to those 3 days. So there's a bit more flexibility, a slightly different structure. You're not in a standard school-based timetable in terms of timings. However, the commitment to your studies is no less. A really important thing for you to consider when thinking about college or sixth form are the entry requirements. What grades do I need? It's clear cut at most sixth forms. So if you're thinking about sixth form study, you've got to be achieving at least 5 GCSEs at grade 5 and above, including English and maths. If you want to study certain subjects, they might have additional entry requirements. So for example, if you want to do A-level sciences, biology or physics, normally they would want you to have at least a grade 6 in that particular subject at GCSE. Now they're asking for those grades to make sure you're going to be able to cope with the difficulty of A-level study. What sixth forms don't want to do is go, yeah, it's okay, you know, join the A-level physics course. We know you've not done triple science, and we know you didn't get a grade 6 in any of your sciences, but we'll give it a go, because they know, experience has taught them that if you haven't achieved at that level, you're not going to be able to cope with the content and the level of study at A-level. So it's really clear that you understand not only what a sixth form's entry requirements are, but also what your grades are going to be and what you feel you can achieve to make sure a sixth form is a realistic pathway for you. Just to compare with colleges, so colleges offer different levels of courses. So your GCSEs are a level 2 qualification. So ideally, if you're passing some of your GCSEs and getting 5 GCSEs at grade 4 and above, you've kind of done level 2 study. So you should be looking to move up to level 3 study. But if you don't quite get the grades to go onto a level 3 course, the great thing at college is you can start on a level 2 course. If you don't quite get the grades for a level 2 course, you can do a level 1 course. And if you don't get the grades for a level 1 course, you can start on an entry level course. And you are able to progress through those different levels throughout your time at college. But what we would hope that you are aiming to do is get onto a level 3 course, which is the same as sixth form study. So those A levels, those qualifications at sixth form are level 3. So we're on a par, just a different learning environment. But we are still looking at 5 GCSEs at a grade 4 and above. But remember what I said before. So another big difference is if you get 5 GCSEs at a grade 4 and above, you can still go to college. But if you don't get your English and maths, you can potentially resit at college, because you're always going to need your English and your maths at a grade 4. So just a few key points there to really think about. Really quickly, how long will I be there? So at sixth form, your course is 2 years. So it's one length of study. You start in year 12, you do year 12, you do year 13, you sit your exams, it's done. College is slightly different because college will depend on what level course you start at. So if you start on a level 2 course, you would do a year on level 2 and then potentially another 2 years on level 3. If you go straight in at level 3, it's just the 2 years. So you can see why it's really important to think about your GCSE grades, because the higher grades you get, the higher level course you can access at college, the shorter period of time you're going to be at college. Don't underestimate though, if you're not getting those grades, starting at those lower level courses, entry level, level 1, level 2, really builds a strong foundation for whichever area of study you're moving into. So just really important that you understand sixth form, 2 years, college is dependent on whatever level you start at. This is a really interesting question. What can I do afterwards? Loads of people think that if you want to go to university, you've got to go to sixth form, you've got to do A levels. Wrong. You can go to college and do a level 3 course at college. Remember what I said before, level 3 college, level 3 qualifications at sixth form, they're the same level. Universities recognise those level 3 courses at college. So you might go to college not knowing if you want to go to sixth form, but you can always work your way up, get a level 3 qualification and use that to then go to university. Some students go to sixth form and get their A levels and don't go to university. So it's more about which learning environment and which kind of subjects and courses best suit you as an individual. Know that both of these pathways can get you to university. And the other thing, I just want to come back to something I said at the beginning, is those transferable skills. So don't think that if you go to college and do a level 3 health and social care course, and then you decide you want to go to university, you are not defined to only being able to do a degree in health and social care. There will be loads of transferable skills within that course that will then allow you to consider lots of different university degrees, and indeed, if you're not thinking about university, other different career areas as well. So it doesn't mean that you can only go into a career with health and social care. Lots of young people say, I really want to go to college to do art and design, but everybody says there's no jobs in art and design. Well, there are fewer jobs in art and design than maybe linked to some other areas, but the transferable skills that you will develop whilst doing that level 3 qualification at college or level 2 qualification will then feed into lots of other industry areas. So it doesn't define you, it doesn't channel you into only one area to progress into. I really hope that's been useful. What I'd like you to do now is go back to that list that you made right at the beginning of this presentation. And I want you to go back and look at the differences that you identified between sixth form and college. Can you add to those lists? And also what I'd like you to do as an extension to that is think, what does that mean for me? Now I know a bit more about sixth form. Now I know a bit more about college. Is there one that actually shouts out, this is made for you? Am I still a little bit unsure? Do I need to do a bit more research in terms of what sixth forms there are near me? What subjects do they offer? What colleges are available? What do they offer? What grades am I going to get? Because this level of thinking is going to be really important in you making an informed decision about your future. And that's what this is about. It's your future. It's your decision. And we are here to help to make sure that you make the right decision for you. So I really hope that's been useful. It's certainly kind of a good step in terms of your career planning, your career thinking. And finally, make sure you know who your careers advisor is in school. If you need their guidance, if you need their support, just go and speak to them on the days that they're in school and they will absolutely be there to support, guide and help you. Take care. Bye.